Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast, episode 480. Nice round number episode, and this is also 480th day as this project is ongoing. It's like a day streak, you can say, because there was no single day when this project did not produce any content. So it's always a blog post accompanied by the podcast episode, be it in audio or video. Recently video, but at the beginning it was audio only. Now we have blog and video episode all together on www.bluntforcehealing.com. You can consume it in a single place, and I highly recommend going there. This is just a short first segment of today's episode. I will be recording more and they will be stitched together, so you just watch it as it is in this single video. But yeah, I am at the moment at the parking lot in Julian's school, so I am here to pick him up, drop him at home, and probably get him to eat something like a lunch, and maybe use an hour and a half left of the daylight to go for some run or maybe some walk. Albeit we already did our walk with Elizabeth in the morning in Rosnolach, but about it later. Let me pick Julian up and I'll be back shortly. Welcome back. So I was expecting to go out and use the last hour of daylight, but I guess life got in the way, and to be honest, I didn't have a good idea about where to go. So instead I decided to sit down and study the maps and think about a better organization for my next hike. And not sure if I will do something tomorrow or maybe Saturday, I don't know, or maybe not at all this week, because the next week we are going to Poland. So we fly to Poland on Monday and we return on Saturday, I believe. So there's a lot to prepare for that. Although we are not taking any main luggage, we need to still pack our backpacks or small baggage smart way to ensure that those 5 days are comfortably spent and we don't take unnecessary stuff, but also that we take whatever we need there. And instead of going anywhere in rush, I sat down and used the maps. I actually bought 2 more maps in the bookshop today, albeit none of them was the map that I wanted really, which I mentioned in one post before and the blog post that I have written today. So I am still looking for map number 10. I could potentially order it from the shop online, but the shipping is actually not far from the price of the map itself. So instead of that, I'd rather buy 2 maps. So add that extra 2 or 3 euros and buy 2 extra maps instead of kind of just paying for the shipping. And instead of rushing it, just wait until it's available in the shops. The interesting bit for me, not for everyone else I guess, but I thought about writing about it, and I wrote the blog post already about that kind of weird thing that is happening. In my opinion, it's just everything is upside down these days in the businesses, in the world general. But this one thing kind of got me confused, because I said in one of the episodes, or I wrote in one of the posts before, that before Christmas, when I was shopping for a couple of books for my family, I was in the same bookshop and they had map number 10, but I was like, I don't need that map yet. I'll try to get it after Christmas. And on one of my reconnaissance trips to Kroahakulin, on the way to Kroahakulin, I actually attempted to buy number 10 to just study it a little bit once I get there, but the bookshop suddenly didn't have number 10. And when I asked them, they said that this map is quite difficult to get once it's sold and people kind of look for it. And I was quite surprised because, that the segment number 10 is covering pretty much the west end of Donegal County, so Slieve League and those areas. There is a couple of hikes there, but nothing massive, so I was quite surprised maybe tourists are buying it. But this is OSI map, it's not like a road map or anything that would be particularly in demand. I kind of took that explanation as okay and drove to Kroahakulin. I did my recon, and then the next day I obviously did the climb, which you can read about and listen about on one of the days that I particularly mentioned in today's blog. But to cut it short, I decided to come to the bookshop today and see if maybe they got the supplies of the maps, and they obviously didn't. So instead I bought two other segments of Ireland's island and the map that I usually visit less often, but also go for hikes there. One is closer to Sligo, so more of the Sligo area, and the other one is up north, a bit of Letterkenny and Glenveagh Castle and Glenveagh Loch or Lake and the valley, so that area. So I took those maps to make sure that I have some other segments as well. And then I asked again the shop assistant, and I received similar answer, but at the same time there was I think the shop manager there, and we got into conversation, and it seems like they lost the contract with one of the suppliers of the maps. That was my first red flag, and quite interesting thing. I thought that the actual OSI or whatever organization is that does these maps sells directly to the bookshops, not there's any suppliers in between. So it seems like they use some suppliers to get those maps, and because OSI merged with some other company and creating new kind of body that is managing those maps and printing them, they need to reinstate new contract and with the new suppliers, and they can't find the proper suppliers, so they're looking for it to get it closed, and once they get it, they will likely get the maps. But the thing is that this is weird, not only in the fact that there's like a proxy in between the organization that creates the maps and sells them online anyway, and then the bookshop. I would expect it to be more direct to get as much money on the map as possible on the product when you sell it. But the weird thing is that online that map costs about €8.80, and in the bookshop it costs €8.80. So I wonder, where is the markup on those maps? And if you consider that there's a proxy in between, like the other supplier, where is the markup for them? Because even if whoever prints those maps goes down to, I don't know, €7, it's still only €1.80 or something like that to divide between the supplier and the bookshop. So it just doesn't calculate for me. How does it make sense? And I didn't get a proper answer from the lady when I asked, why don't you just go to the Talte or Talsha, or I don't know how you spell it because it's an Irish name, to that new organization and ask, okay, we are a bookshop and we want the maps. What is the discount that you give us, or what price will you give us so we can mark it up and sell it? It just doesn't add up for me. So that was my confusion for today. That's it really, because I'm now going to pick the pizza. We are going to eat it with Julian. Elizabeth already is eating her Asian food or Thai food. Not much happened today except for our walk in Rosnola. So this is ideal 10 minutes update, I think, plus whatever I recorded before, about 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So it will be about 12, 13 for today. I think that's enough of your time, your valuable time, to listen to me and my moaning. But yeah, that's really it. We'll see what happens tomorrow. For now, I hope you enjoyed it and you had a great day, or the rest of the day. You will have it the afternoon or evening. I don't know where you are based, but assuming if you're in the US, you're still early in the day. It's almost 7 p.m. in Ireland as I recorded, so I assume on the East Coast in the US that would be probably, if it's 19, I think you're -5, so that would be about 2 p.m. and it's further down the West Coast, it's even earlier, about 3 or 4 hours. So that's, you still have almost full day ahead. So stay safe, stay tuned, and see you tomorrow.